welcome to this LS1 demonstration. I'm Anna from the LS1 team, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate the Forecourt Manager connection to LS1. In LS1 version 2017, the LS1 POS connection to the Forecourt controller interface has been updated, and a simulation of such a connection is now available for LS1. The Forecourt POS Manager shows all the pumps in the forecourt and interacts with the POS. The Forecourt controller interface is the interface for the communication to the Forecourt controllers. The LS Forecourt controller supports a number of controller types, such as DOMS, Wayne Fusion, MX 2001, CODAB, and NextGen. The Forecourt Sync service sends pricing to the Forecourt controller, along with retrieving information such as payments and amounts. The connection implements receiving data from the Forecourt controller and selling fuel items in the LS1 POS together with other items. The connection to the Forecourt controller is set up in the Site Manager. In the hardware profile set up for the POS running Forecourt, there is a Forecourt Manager section that needs to be populated with information such as where the controller is located and which DLLs to use. The connection components need to be customized to each controller type. This hardware profile is assigned to the terminal that opens the Forecourt Manager. Item and price information for fuel items is controlled by the Forecourt controller and received by LS1 POS. But to be able to sell an item, it also needs to exist in the LS1 database and be marked as a fuel item and with the appropriate grade ID. To set this, you need to select the item, open the item card, and navigate to the Fuel Settings tab. There you need to check the fuel item checkbox and enter the grade ID. Now let's take a look at how the Forecourt Manager looks on the POS. This POS is running a simulator based on the Forecourt controller. We can see that fuel is being sold on pump number 2. First 95 oct for €10 and then 98 oct for 11. If we click on the pump, we can see both sales. To sell the fuel item on the POS, we select the 95 oct fuel transaction from the pump menu and the item is displayed on the POS receipt panel. We can then add other items to the sale and receive payments. If we now open pump number 2 again, we can see that the 95 oct transaction has been removed from the pump. If you select the wrong fuel transaction by accident, you can just void the item and the fuel transaction remains on the pump until sold. Authorization of certain pumps can also be cancelled from the pump menu. If there is an emergency such as a fire or a leak, all pumps can be stopped by the emergency stop button.